Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing and football tips for Saturday the 6th of April. Well, first of all, let's start on a different note. Can I ask a favour? If anybody is going to leave comments, can they please not get into tangles with other people who want to leave a comment, whether there's been some unnecessary comments been left in the comment section which are now deleted. If it happens again by anybody, I shall ban them. And I don't mean Valentino Lee telling me to improve the quality of my video. People know who they are, who are leaving dodgy, defamatory comments, bullying and all that kind of nonsense. Peg it in, please. Let's post with a smile on his face and let's try and win some money. Anyway, if you give me a like or subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. It's a small channel. I don't get a single penny for it because I haven't got enough watch time. The videos aren't long enough, despite what Valentino Lee says. They're not long enough, and I've got enough subscribers, but it is what it is. I hate that saying. It's what you make it. But anyway, straight into it. So it's a 15 pence. Sorry, no, it's not. It's a 16 pence each way. Lucky 31 comes to £9.92. And if you like to sneak a little bit more, you need to follow me on the football, and I'm going to talk to you about the football in a minute. So it's a 16 pence each way, lucky 31. The first selection is Ethandon at 12 to 1 in the 130 at Kempton, paying 4 places instead of 3. The second selection is Enola Grey at 20 to 1 in the 5 past 2 at Kempton. Quick mention about this horse. This horse has got to run the race of its life to get placed, but it's it's stripping fit, if that's such a thing. It's the fittest horse in the race by far. It's been on the go, but it must improve. I would have loved it if they'd have been paying first 4 or 5, because I really fancied it to fly into a place late on. They're only paying first 3 because I've gone for the extra place races bonuses in the other races, because Sky Bet are by far the best generally for the majority of the races. However, they've chosen a race which I would have liked 5 places, but they're not offering it, but I'm sticking with Sky Bet. So you know where it's going to come. It's going to come 4th when they pay on first 3, but anyway. It's 20 to 1. I think it's a very interesting selection. They probably have to a bit of black type. I don't know what sex it is. I've not even noticed if it's a gelding or whatever, so I might be wrong with that comment. But they'll be after a bit of extra prize money. So third selection is Chillingham at 15 to 2 in the 240 at Kempton in the Rosebery handicap, paying 5 places instead of 3. I've chosen 2 other horses already in this race and changed my mind because of the draw. This horse isn't drawn as wide as those, but originally I went for both of the Ian Williams pair. I can't quite fancy Duke de Kent, even though it's got a decent draw in 3 enough to at the price to warrant backing it. And then I fancied Dream Harder even more, but I think it's drawn 11. I also fancied, I think it's this race, I also fancied the Irish trained horse. I'm sure it's this race. Just double check. Yes, it's this race. So I fancied the Irish horse as well, but that's drawn very wide. So I've gone for Chillingham, who has been running extremely well off a similar mark to this. Edward Bethel very rarely takes his horses to Kempton, and I'm expecting this horse can run well fresh, and I'm expecting a prominent showing throughout, and I think it'll stay on, and hopefully it's good enough to win on the day, or at least placed. Well, you want it 15 to 2. You want it to win. The next selection is Twilight Guest at 17 to 2 in the 250 at Chelmsford, paying 4 places instead of 3. And then the nap of the day, Duty of Care at 11 to 2 in the 315 at Kempton, paying 5 places instead of 3. If this horse runs to the same standard as it did at Lingfield, I don't mean the same tactics, but the same standard as it did at Lingfield, it's going to go very close. Watch the race at Lingfield. It was slowly away, it raced wide, and then it shot to the front. It was embarrassing. Shane Kelly rode it that day. It was like 5 wide throughout. I'm like, what are they doing? And it still stayed on for a payout place in that race. It then ran, not sure where, maybe Wolves, I'm not sure. But on its first run this season, it actually ran at Kempton and ran a cracker. I don't know what the best tactics are for this race, but what I do know is sitting at the back and making a move halfway through the race is not a tactic that anybody wants. I used to run to a decent standard, and I know if I started off steady and tried to take the lead after a mile in, let's say, a 2-mile race, I'd have been walking over the finish. So I don't know what the tactics will be. I'm thinking they might bury this horse away. But then again, I also think it's good enough to race prominently, as long as it races prominently throughout. So I don't know with Duty of Care. I don't know what the tactics will be. But what I do know is it's already gone from 7s to 11 to 2. To be honest, I've probably taken the worst price it's ever going to be. So you're going to have to work the price out for yourself. 11 to 2, it is what it is. So anyway, bet 365. Let's get on to the football bet. It's going to be really awkward, this is. Especially now. I can't extend the screen. Oh, that's better. Half a chance now. Right. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. So, all you need to know what matches they are. And I'll tell you the bets shortly after. So, the matches you need to write down or write on your Etch-a-Sketch, whatever it is. I'm a bit old-fashioned. So, the matches are Notts County versus Harrogate Town, Mansfield versus Crawley Town, and Fulham versus Newcastle. The bet is it's a £5 over 2.5 gold treble. It's a £3 over 3.5 gold treble. It's then a £1 treble, both teams to score in the first half, which is quite tasty, about 40 to 1. And then it's both teams in a separate pound treble, both teams in all 3 matches to score in the second half. They're quite stingy odds for the over 2.5 goals because I honestly believe if there's an early goal in all 3 games, I think I'd be very confident in getting the bet up. I know that's obvious, really, because you want goals. But the short price, all the bets are short price. The goals, over 2.5 and over 3.5 goals in all matches. I'm thinking because Fulham, Newcastle, who knows what Fulham's going to turn up? Who knows what Newcastle's going to turn up? Fulham got battered by Forest, woke up in the second half. They probably had their legs slapped. They'll probably come out all guns blazing, and Newcastle always seem to score 1 or 2. Mansfield versus Crawley. I'm probably going to tell you what happened in that match. Mansfield was postponed last week. They always seem to start slowly when they get a match postponed. They'll probably go a goal down, they'll probably get a goal back, and it could be anybody's after that. Notts County, they have about 80% of the possession, always concede at least 2, and always seem to score at least 1. So who knows what's going to happen in the matches? We don't care who wins. We want goals in both halves. So, you can give me a like or a subscribe if you're here at the 8-minute mark. So the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.